you're looking at a pair of a couple of the most popular Glocks made. The Glock 27 in 40 caliber, the Glock 26 and 9mm. And I'm Hickok 45. You know, I like these little Glocks, these subcompacts, sometimes referred to as baby Glocks. Smallest Glock that Glock makes, okay? So if you're not really familiar with Glocks, this is the smallest one. Subcompact baby Glock. And it does come in, let's see, 357 SIG, I guess. And that's really the only other caliber. I guess the 380 in Europe, you know, is available, I don't know. But in this country, it's 357 SIG, 9mm, 40 caliber, subcompact baby Glock. Same gun, they're all exactly the same size, all three of those. No difference in dimensions. Same gun, just the barrel has either a smaller or larger bore. It's basically what it comes down to. With a 357 SIG and the 40, the magazine's even essentially the same, so not a lot of difference, okay? All right, these two guns kind of beg comparison to some extent. I get a lot of requests and questions about which a person, you know, should buy, which is better, you know. Does the 40 recoil too much? Will the Glock 27 be too snappy? That's a word we hear used in connection with it quite often. And should I get the 9mm, the Glock 26? No. So, or someone may already have the 26 and they're thinking of moving to the 40 and want to know how much more it kicks and those sorts of things. But so we thought we'd just do a little comparison between the two. First, I want to point out some of the beauties of both. In praise of the subcompact Glock. It's a wonderful size gun. Now, I would have never guessed it. I know it was a year or two before I was sold on it. I felt one in a shop, I wanted part of that thing. But then I shot one, it kind of grew on me, and I figured out some ways to make that grip feel better to me, and it really grew on me, particularly from a practical standpoint, because you've got a really small gun here that is very shootable. That's the beauty in it for me. Function is so important. If function isn't important to you, you're not going to be a Glock liker or lover or an XD or any of the black polymer guns. You know, they're not necessarily beautiful pieces of art like a beautiful 1911 or a Smith & Wesson revolver or something. So the function is where the beauty lies. The fact that that little gun is capable of really shooting well. It's very accurate. It's more accurate than we are. So get that out of your head if you think it's not. Those little babies are very accurate. Concealable, if you have a carry permit, you know, these guns, man, they will fit in so many places where a larger gun, even the compact, will stick you. It'll, you know, poke your ribs or, you know, whatever. That short little grip is wonderful, and that's where the big advantage lies in concealed carry, for sure. You know, in a holster, in a belt holster, anywhere for that matter. But what I like about these guns is that they're so shootable. There are a lot of small guns around. You know, I like the PM9s, and I like some of the small Rugers, and lots of little guns. And, you know, on a good day, I can shoot them pretty well. These guns, on a good day, they shoot as well as the big brothers. You know, the Glock, if for the 27, it'd be the Glock 23 or the Glock 22. Just not a lot of difference, really. So let's take a couple shots. I'll start with the 27 and just sling a little lead here for fun. I've got some magazines in my pouches here. Now I start out with the flush magazine because I like the flush magazine. That's what makes it easy to, you know, to carry and so handy. But when I reload, I usually reload with a Glock 23 magazine or a Glock 22, you know, or even bigger, just for shooting. And I do not use it to stabilize the gun. I have the same grip regardless of the magazine that's in it. All right, what do we have here? Let's just take a couple of. Sweet. Yeah, I love it. I love this little gun. I have to watch my mags, make sure I use the right one. These Glock 9 or 9mm and 40 mags are the same size. Nice, nice. Get those three around. Oh, winged him. There we go. Oh, there's a target. What? Can't knock the thing down. Okay. That is a target that was donated to the range by Challenge Targets. You might notice that's a little new one. It must be defective or something. Let me try it again. Can't knock it down. It's got to be broken. Well, actually it's not. Just kidding. You know me. Let me put this in my holster here. Put the big magazine in it. That is a target that Challenge Targets donated to the range that, you know, pretty nice. They said try it out. Put it on the range. No charge. It's a new design, and it is actually designed not to stay down. And that's the beauty of it. It's not cheap, I'll say, but it's kind of an interesting design. It's designed to shoot and maybe keep shooting. You can adjust it. You can set it for 9mm to go down with a 9. You can set it so that just by cranking up some screws to raise it or lower it, so that a 9 will knock it all the way back, or it takes 2 hits to knock it back, or it takes a 40, or it takes a 45, so that kind of thing. So actually it's supposed to go back slowly, and then you can knock it on back, or however you want to set it. So anyway, that's what that's all about. And again, we thank Challenge Targets for lending that. I'll take a couple shots at you to show, or at it and show you. We have it set so that a 9 or a 40 will knock it back, but not necessarily all the way back. So that's what that's about. Well, this is fun. Wow. All right. Here we go. Uh-oh, out of ammo. Okay, well anyway, that was a little 40 action. That was the Glock 27. Like I said, that gun is just wonderful and very, very shootable. All right, let's try Mr. Gong out there at long range. Doesn't want to fall, does he? I noticed bullets are going a little higher. Must be the incredible humidity or something here. Try that turkey over there. There we go. Just took 2. Yeah, interesting. The humidity here must be 99%. I can actually tell the difference in the bullet impact. Seems it's going higher. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Some of you engineers can help me figure that one out. So anyway, one of the points I was making is that these guns are so shootable at short and long range, and all you have to do is go back through the playlist and get some more verification of that, because I love to shoot them, and I shoot them at all ranges. One of the big advantages of this gun, I think a lot of people compare these guns, I say this, I mean both of them, a lot of people compare these guns with a smaller car or a smaller Ruger, a lot of the little, whether it's an LCP or some other pocket gun, and there is a quantum leap, as I often say, up to the subcompact. Yes, it's a little thicker, it's a little bigger, and it doesn't fit every situation, but these guns, once you get to this size gun, if you can carry this gun, if you can handle a gun this big or a gun this small, depending on which way you're coming from and your purpose and function, you really have a gun. You have a real gun that you can do anything with, essentially. I would not be afraid to take this gun as my primary firearm, and I have done that, you know, working with the police department. It's just so shootable. So both of them are, and we'll take a few shots with the 9mm. Let's do that. Make sure now these magazines are all the same, and I want to mix them up. Make sure my glasses are non-fogged here a little bit, and let's put I'll start out with a short magazine, and then we'll move to all those 40s out of there. Go to larger magazines for backup, and just take a few shots here. All right, got 9s. Yeah. All right, sweetie. Love it. Let's get this guy right here. All right, big 9mm. They really took off. Okay, let's see if he's interested in going after the gong. Let's see if we're seeing that same bullet rise out there I was seeing with the 40. Maybe it's my imagination. Oop. Thought I had one in the chamber. We'll let her cook a second. Yeah, there's one in the chamber. These are my hand loads. I got maybe a bad primer there. So we'll let him cook. And he's probably fine now. We'll save him. Yeah, light primer strike. I'll save him for later. Take a look at him. All right. Yeah, in the 9mm, in the 40, I was firing factory ammo. With this, I'm just shooting my unsorted brass and 147 grain bullets. All right. Right. Same old deal. Really shootable. There we go. Got him around the last shot. Good old Glock 26. Short range, long range. They both will get the job done. Really sweet to shoot. A little less recoil with the 9mm. In fact, one thing we were going to show you, try to give you a look at again, not scientific, but we're going to get some we'll get some 40s and 9. and see if you can tell anything just from looking at them, because one of the hits on the 27 is it's too snappy, and then maybe it is for a lot of people. If you're not used to recoil, then it does jump around a little bit for you. So let's just take a couple shots with both here before we forget to do that, and we'll let John give you a good look at it, see if he can tell anything. Now I'm gonna maintain the exact same grip with both guns. That's all I can say. I'm not gonna put the death squeeze on either one of them. Same normal grip, and I'm just gonna shoot at the tombstone or something. I'm gonna focus on how I hold the gun and being consistent, not on shooting necessarily. Okay, we'll shoot 6 or 8 or something here. Okay, normal grip. I'll shoot a couple of 3 quickly, because what I realize I'm doing there is maybe I'm not shooting naturally, because if I pull this thing out and I'm trying to bang, 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 hit several targets, I probably am getting a harder grip on it, because I'm trying to hold it down and reacquire my sight picture. So if I'm just bang, bang, I probably do have a little bit different grip on it. So we'll do both. You saw that was kind of slow fire, so I'll just shoot a little bit faster and maintain my grip, focus on it a little bit more now. Okay, because in order to shoot fast, you really do need to maintain your good control. Okay, let's try it with this. I'll shoot deliberately here, methodically, a few shots, and I'll speed up. 9mm, Glock 26. Okay, and I'll speed up a little bit. Of course, with that one you get a machine gun, because it just doesn't really recoil much, does it? So whatever that tells you, I'm sure you can see a little bit of difference there. Okay. Of course, part of what you're seeing here in the difference between these two, that's one of the big ones, the recoil. That's what most people are asking about. They're concerned about the 27 being too snappy. If a 9mm seems to kick pretty much for you, then the 27 is definitely going to be snappy. But if you shoot a lot of different guns, 45s and 44 mags and all sorts of things, then it's not going to bother you. You adjust to it pretty easily. But I would stay with a 9 if you don't plan to shoot it a lot. I've said that before, I think, in videos, where the 40 does have more of a jump to it. You notice I shot it first. I don't like to come out here and shoot a lot of 9, shoot this gun a lot, and then pick this gun up and expect to be able to do whatever I want with it right away. I have to kind of readjust for that extra bounce there. So, okay, so we talked about what they have in common. The recoil is one of the things that differentiate the two. Another thing they both have in common is the fact that they will take longer mags. The neat thing about these guns, this system, is, and that's not only true of Glock, some other companies have that same capability. You can use the magazines, longer magazines with these baby Glocks, and they work just fine. Okay, this is just a 22 round magazine. Here's a 15 round magazine. That's for a Glock 22, gun that so many police carry. It'll work in there just fine. Here's a Glock, that's a 9mm, it'll fit. Here's a Glock 23 magazine, holds 13. It will fit. So, variety of mags, they all shoot just fine, or you can use the flush mag, as we have here, and that's what, I like to start out with. Okay, that's the best feel. And again, I don't use that mag to support the gun ever. I keep my fingers off of it. I use 2 fingers to shoot these guns, and I don't even touch that mag. That's my goal. I need to touch it, so I don't want to do that. All right, same with the 9mm. You have, what's that? That's a Glock 19 magazine. That'll work. Okay, just fine. I don't know if I have a Glock 17 magazine out here. Yeah, I do. That's what that is right there, with a +2 on it. So that'd work as a backup. Or this big Glock 18 mag. What's that hold? 31 plus a couple, so 33. So you got that little rig, pretty sweet. And it will shoot. Let me show you. Da-da-da. It's empty. So that's a lot of fun, of course. But that's one of the neat things about the little baby Glocks. They take the big boy magazines. That's another added, I guess, feature you'd say, which most people would carry for back, not necessarily that thing, but a longer magazine if you're going to carry one for primary carry. Okay, other differences, of course, the caliber and is the biggest difference. They a little less expensive to shoot the 9mm, of course. Not a great deal. You know what ammo costs if you shoot it all. A box of 9mm you can get for whatever, $10, $12, maybe $13. 40 ammo, practice ammo runs $14, $15. Low end is low end is pretty much the high end for 9mm. If you're paying for just practice ammo on 9, maybe $13, $14, that'd be the cheapest you could find. 40 probably, and then on up to 18, 20 bucks, practice ammo. Not a tremendous difference, but there is a difference. Okay, so you got the cost, you have the ammo availability is about the same on both of them. There's not a lot of difference. About anywhere I go I can find or run into 9mm ammo and 40 both. Not a big deal. Magazine capacity is a little different on these two guns. Not a lot. I like to say the Glock 26 with the flush magazine will hold 10 easily. It's easy to get 10 rounds in the Glock 26 flush magazine, stock magazine. In the 40, it will hold 9. The Glock 27 will hold 9, but it's a tough 9. That 9th one's tough to get in sometimes. I've noticed on the newer mags it's a little bit easier, but on most of the Glock 27 magazines, I'm talking again the stock flush magazines, that I load them down to 8. I just put 8 in there because it's really a stiff feed on that last one. But you can get it in. You can get it in. The beauty of the 9 is an easy 10, and it's an easy 8 on the 40, but not a lot of difference in capacity. So those are some of the differences and similarities in these guns. It's a tough choice. I get the question a lot, and I'm faced with it myself because these are my favorite guns. This gun I bought used back in about 98, 99, along in there, and that was my primary gun for about 6 years. I used it, carried it, used it in GSSF matches. And in fact, this gun's kind of special because that's the gun that I won that Glock 29 with, one subcompact. So that's kind of a special gun for me. I like that. I've shot it a lot, carried it a lot, competed with it a fair amount, and practiced a lot. So it takes a lot of focus to shoot one of these really well, especially if you're going to shoot in a match and try to really drill those paper targets out there. I don't know if you've shot any GSSF, but some of the paper targets are out to 25 yards in that one stage, I don't know, and you're trying to get them in the center of that thing out there, and it's cardboard and you can't really see it. So you really have to focus on that little bitty sight, that short radius and everything. So I've practiced a lot with that gun. Paid off, but I have practiced and I've shot that thing a lot. So it's got a pretty good trigger. It's not the very best I've ever had in a Glock. So that gun's kind of special to me. This one is in a way too, because it's my primary gun now, and it's a Generation 4. So they're both really nice guns. They both have a special meaning for me, and it's still kind of a toss-up. If I had to just close my eyes and pick one out, mix them up, and that's the gun I had to use as my primary gun, either one would be just fine. But I kind of prefer the 40 a little bit. So, sweet firearms. I guess there's nothing left out here I need to shoot. Just wanted to give you a look at the difference between these two firearms, and hopefully that's of some use to you. So, good old guns, Glock 26 and 27. Can't go wrong with either one. Hope you learned a little bit, and life is good.